Good morning. I'm about to do my first color scheme drawing for you. This is going to be using the magic marker that comes in, I think in the 10, the 12, and the 40. It's called pink. And these, I think the Blue Lagoon comes in maybe the 10 and maybe the 12. I know 10 and the 12, definitely the 40. The two greens only come in the 40, the big box of 40, which I highly recommend you get, because now that I'm going to start doing color schemes with you, and I'll explain on my blog what a color scheme is. Some colors work well with other colors and some do not, quite honestly. And I'm going to work up a detailed color theory course for you. But right now, let's just fly by the seat of our pants. This is by design. I drew it in yellow magic marker. It's to be looked at either. I quite honestly do not know which direction this is filming. It's gonna but anyway, it's a half of a flower, a vine to take you across the page, one heart star divided, and another, and then a circle to bring your eye around. Now let me show you the movement. You're going to go here, up here. There's going to be another polka dot circle here. You're going to come down, catch these leaves, whirl around, go out that leaf, come back, and it's going to, and I probably am going to put another circle down. In fact, I'm quite sure I'm going to, see that? I need something to bring me back down here, so I'm probably going to put another circle down there too. In fact, I'm going to do it right this second. Which is really not down there, it's really up there, because that its design is to, the way I conceive of it, and I said this yesterday, if a design is good, it'll look good from whichever direction. Now this is an important lesson. I drew it with yellow, as I always do, but I'm not going to retain any yellow. So what I have to do is to go from light to dark, and the next lightest color to yellow, although I'm skipping the yellow and other colors, is this pink, this generic pink that comes in several sets, quite honestly, and that's one reason I'm using it, because what will happen, these are just Crayola brand. Okay, what I like to do is to draw around the area, like a circle, before I start filling in. It kind of helps me make it a little bit neater. I'm not the neatest person in the world, I'm going to be very honest. So what I'm doing is I'm going here, come around here. You're going to find out that there's a little discoloration as the marker hits the yellow with several of the colors. And I'll tell you why you're getting sort of an orangey, well, what's in pink? Red and white. In watercolor, it's just pink with watered down. But anyway, because I intend to do all this in watercolor eventually, but I'm taking it one step at a time. Now I'm doing it with these Crayola markers. Then I'm going to do it, and in fact, I'm going to do it on Procreate, and I'm going to do it on so that's kind of half of a flower. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the color over here and over here. Do you see how that makes your eye move? The color makes your eye, it moves from here to here to here. Color and line make your eye move. You dance from one to your eye looks for something similar. we're all copycats. We want things that are familiar and not scary, so we look for familiar things. Okay, now then, the next lightest color is this light green, which is palm leaf. Okay, remember yesterday I said the upper part of the leaf is lighter because we assume the light's coming, and this light is definitely coming down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that half of the leaf in yellow, that half of the leaf in yellow, and I'm going to repeat, not yellow, this is palm leaf, not yellow. I get distracted, and in fact, I've found several errors in my videos. I'm not senile, I just get distracted. I'm not sure I was ever any better. Okay, now then, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the darker green, and I already see a problem here. Before I do anything else, I'm gonna bring this around. And that repeats that green too. Okay, I'll write a post. In fact, I have several posts about it. My intuition is my biggest designer. And I may have a rough idea, and today I tried to plan and have a rough idea of what I was going to do before I started. But as I got started, something told me I needed to change it a little bit. So that's my intuition making me change it. You can change as long as you're not trying to put a light color next to a dark color you've already put into, because that's why we start with yellow and lighter colors, because when we put the darker colors, we don't want the lighter colors to be messed up. Okay, so that way now I have this coming here. Is anybody busy yet? I'm doing this on December 7th, and I have a million things to do this weekend. But I'm not complaining. I like having things to do. Okay, so what are we going to do here? Let's see. I think I'm going to pull this just a little bit farther over, because I know kind of what I'm doing next. Well, I think I know what I'm going to do next. All right, that's the palm leaf green. Now I'm going to put this one in, which is Kiwi. These are a more natural color green. And I say this again, if you don't buy the set of 40, the only color you're going to get in a smaller set is one green, that green. You can't do much with one, and I think it's this one right here. One green. You can't do much with one green in design, especially if you're designing natural elements like flowers, which is what I design all the time. So oh my gosh. All right, I meant to go. That was a lucky blow. I meant to come here anyway. I had the wrong color in my hand. I thought I still had the other one. Okay, now I'm putting in Kiwi, which is considerably darker, especially when I lay it on top of what's already there. Remember what we say, that it's darker underneath, so this vine is darker underneath, and it's the hard part, which is the underside of the leaf, is going to be the darker green too. I'm going to count that for my lucky blow for today, because I didn't really mean to put, I thought it was something else, and I worked with it. I'm proud of myself. So the light is still on top of the stem, and the dark is underneath it, and the dark is also underneath on the underside of the of the leaf. See what we have so far? All right, now then, not much else to do now except to just, okay, you got blend. I think what I'm going to do is also outline this to repeat my color. I'm going to outline here, and that brings my color back around. I'll tell you what else I'm going to do. Do you feel it? We need to come back down here. With a lighter color. Now I'm adding to this, but I'm adding on top of what was already there, and I'm not changing colors, so I'm not going to get in trouble here yet. Okay, so there we have that. When you redo a color, a lot of times it's going to seem that it's not going to blend, and sometimes it won't. But a lot of that is because it's wet. Water, magic markers are a water-based medium. In fact, when I'm doing these videos, it's going to sound crude, but I kind of spit and sputter. In fact, I just did it when I did the SP sound. So my designs are splotched. Don't spit and sputter. In fact, don't talk when you're doing your design. Okay, that's what I have so far. And you know something? I'm going to take this darker green and I'm going to go around here. What did I just say? My intuition tells me what I need to do. So I brought the darker green up there, and now I'm going to take the darker green and go around this down here. Okay, now then, from here I'm just going to do the Lagoon blue, and it's just going to be just time consuming as it can be. But I'm going to, once again, I'm going to outline everything so that I can start cutting in with bigger swatches. I do the same thing when I paint. I do the same thing when I work in Procreate. I make the small marks up close so that I can start going to town, marking big marks later. I'm doing this free course consecutively with my Advent program for this year. And I think it was yesterday I made the comment that God works. God did his world that way. He could have done the Big Bang Theory if he wanted to, but I think what I believe, and I'm not scared of the Big Bang Theory. It doesn't scare me to think that something may be, evolution doesn't scare me. I think that Christians need to constantly reevaluate and rethink. So that all those new ideas don't scare me a bit. But anyway, my theory is that God, although he could have just come in here and said, voila, let there be a world, let there be a Garden of Eden. I don't think he did it slowly and meticulously. Advent is a time of planning, and next week I'm going to get into some old Bible heroes, some old men in the Bible, old Bible stories that I believe are linked to Jesus. In my understanding, they're about people in Jesus's family tree, and I believe that it shows that God by providing these heroes and these stories of these heroes shows a plan or a movement toward bringing Jesus to the world. Well, so I say that God did what I do. He starts with the big bold strikes. Then he starts cutting in the details in small allotments, and by the time that he finished, his world was the most intricate, miraculous, awesome thing that could be, and that awesomeness helps me understand and truly believe that there was a God who created the world. So whether he created it in a big bang or how he created it, the Bible tells us he used 7 days. We don't even know what those 7 days mean. He did it but I think the Bible makes the point that God worked his miraculous creation in increments. But it doesn't threaten me to think that he might have done it in a big bang all at once. I just know when I look at God's creation, when I look at the flowers and the trees and the gills on a fish, just how could all of that just have happened into place? So however and whenever God created his world, it's a miraculous thing, and it's a testimony to me that there must have been a God. So that's just my little bit of faith talk for today, tying this into Advent, because I'm doing this on the 6th day of Advent, which is when God created the animals and the people. But my designs are behind my stories. You can find my Advent program on my blog, JackiKellum.com. Be sure you spell it JACKIKELLUM. Go to the blog. At the top, there's a little menu. Go to the blog menu, and you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, and each of those colorful, Christmassy looking headers are picture images for a post is about my interpretation. And let me just say this. In fact, today I really kind of jumped off the deep end. But it's my interpretation. I'm just one person. I have one interpretation and only one interpretation. It may or may not be right. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and finish this. I have a hair appointment, so I can't sit here forever, but it's not going to take me long to finish it. But I will say this, I'm not the neatest colorer. I never was. There were little girls that would just sit and might look like angel breath, put their crayon on. I never was one of those angel breathers. I've always been, in fact, my paintings are very impulsive, and I paint with a lot of energy and a lot of bravura, and I guess I put my marker on in the same way. I kind of just let it fly best I can and not get too much in trouble. Okay, let me just get all this in there. What I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to redo this in Procreate and give you some idea. I'm going to hopefully be able to do a tutorial on Procreate, although I've never done that, showing you how I would recreate this design in Procreate and show you the colors that I would use in Procreate, the hex code for each color. Okay, all right. Okay, there's that. Now, what I'm going to do to tie this all together is I'm gonna use black. Now, I've been saying this. Actually, I don't know whether I even was on the paper the whole time. But anyway, there it is. Uh, the that's the design right there. And so now I've already told you that I'm doing these on note cards. In fact, these are the cheapest note cards I've ever seen. They're almost paper thin. But I mean, what? I'm not gonna hang. Actually, you could frame these. Okay. In fact, I may try to trace this on. In fact, I will. When I go into Procreate, I'll create an outline of this design so that you can you can just trace this or copy it or do whatever you want to do. My bad coloring when I talk is catching up with me. And you can just trace. You know, my theory is one step at a time. One step at a time. If you need to trace this image to get yourself going, trace it. Who cares? As long as you're working and you're creating and you're learning something every day, use as many helps as you can use. It doesn't bother me. Nobody else cares. Nobody else is watching your creative output. So do whatever you want to do. I'm just sitting here ruining this design. Big as life. Don't talk when you're doing your art. At this point, the only color you could add would be black, because all the other colors, or you could go over with purple, but then I wouldn't be using my color scheme. But so what? It's all an exploration. Do whatever you need to do. Okay, so this is what I came up with. I'm going to put it both ways in case. This is, and the colors I used, I'm going to put on the back, is pink, the Big Box 40 pink, and the green was palm leaf. That pink comes in every color. Well, it doesn't come in the set of 8. It comes in set of 10 and 12, I believe. Palm leaf, but palm leaf And Kiwi only come in the 40 set. Come with Kiwi, pink, and Lagoon Blue. Blue Lagoon, or whatever it is. Blue Lagoon. I think that's what it's called. I'm not going to put it down until yeah, Blue Lagoon. I think that comes in that does not come in the set of 8 or 10. I think it comes in 12 on. Okay, there we go. That's our design for today. And we've made a color scheme.